Bringing peace to a man's life is not something that's beneficial just to a man, but is to a woman while two people are coming together in a partnership. We are not in long-term partnerships for chaos, destruction, and toxic behaviors. However, some people feel the need that they need to stay through that in order to get to the bright side. They have to go through the storm basically to see the light at the end of the storm. And I want to tell you guys and give you guys a perception on making a man's life peaceful. Me being a woman in my femininity, it's something that is of high importance, not only to my man that I'm currently in a relationship with. Life is making his life easier by the things that I do and the ways that I show up, but it's not necessarily for him. And let me explain, because I know that a lot of people say a man is simple. I think yes, to some degree. However, that peace of mind is something that when I'm in the act of doing things for my man, whether it be cooking him a meal, making him a lunch, cleaning the house, it of course affects him in a positive way, but it also allows me to be affected in my femininity. And this is important for men and women to understand. When you are tapping into your femininity as a woman, it's going to naturally have a positive impact on the men who you share it with. But we all have masculinity and femininity, and it's not something that should go out of balance on either side. A woman overly feminine is going to have a hard time setting boundaries, speaking her truth, her voice, perhaps sharing her opinions, or even giving critical advice to a man that could be of benefit using the power of her masculine energy, which is more so forceful, dominant. But having it backed by her femininity is everything, because that's coming from her heart center, the place where she resides that makes her want to do the things for a man because it brings her joy. You guys, I get so much joy making my man meals every day. Like, it's something I actually look forward to. And I'm not saying this just to share to the camera. It's actually something that I wholeheartedly do with all of me because I love it. You know, cooking is such a beautiful act that I know that gives my partner ease in his experience, not having to worry about, cooking a meal. And, I take care of that because he takes care of so many other areas of our life. And it's having that balance in a partnership, because I don't want my man to always have to be overly masculine, because that's going to drain him and exhaust him, which is why it's very important to highlight the benefit of being a well-rounded human being, in tune with your energies, and not needing another person to be a certain way in order for you to actually be in truth of who you are and the energy you want to reside in. If you're a woman or a man right now, and let's say you're a woman and you're craving masculinity in your life, the classic provider, leader, protector, then that is going to require a certain level of femininity for you to even be able to receive that from a man. You can't just expect a man to be that certain way and you not have to change anything in your personal life. Even if you're a boss babe and you feel like, I can do it myself, that is only going to get you so far when you are interacting with a man. A man does not want to be belittled by a woman. A man does not want to be told constantly what to do or his leadership is wrong. And if you feel like you're finding yourself as a man in a pattern and doesn't want to support you in the ways that is actually her supporting herself in her own femininity, and this is something you deeply desire, it's really important to be comfortable speaking what your needs are in a relationship through every single phase. Because people expect their partner to be the fantasy version, how they perceive them to be in their fantasy. They should be this way because I expect it out of them. Now, without you even saying what you are wanting or your needs in a relationship, how is that person supposed to know? Usually through trial and error. A lot of people get into relationships through trial and error. They know what they like, they know what they don't like, and when things don't go as planned, there's something wrong with the human being that's in front of them. And perhaps to some degree there is, if you guys do not share similar values. But if you are a man who knows his value and wants a woman to provide value to your life instead of you constantly having to give and give to prove to yourself that you're worthy enough as a man to have a woman next to you, you're going to be in that rat race constantly. Now, back to my main point, bringing peace into a man's life, first and foremost comes from the peace of mind that the other person is seeking to find. And that seeking to find peace is something that we can naturally have when we are ready to put down the armor, the swords that make our partner in the wrong. And sometimes, relationships are not perfect, which is why I'm coming at this from not just this stereotypical, a woman needs to be the woman and the man needs to be the man, because on different days, it could require different things. And for me, I've learned so much being in a relationship with a masculine man. He's masculine to his core. However, we both understand. And I would say for myself, I'm very feminine to my core. But we don't just expect that all the time from one another, because that's going to get exhausting and draining. Now, to be a man is not something that you're just born into. It's something that actually happens when you choose the hard way and not the easy way. When you choose to do the hard things, even when your body's telling you to stop, or your mind is telling you you're not good enough, so you should just stop. A man becomes a man when he understands responsibility. And the responsibility to be a man in a relationship is something that someone's going to do, whether it be the woman or the man. However, I'm talking to the men right now. And to have a woman that brings peace into your life, you have to offer up a piece of yourself to that woman. The piece of yourself that is becoming selfless in the act of taking responsibility for her. And that's something that's hard to do, but it's in a man's nature to do. And if not, there's always going to be something he is chasing to give him that same feeling of responsibility. And the men who are scared of responsibility are the ones that usually will bring chaos into their life to then create order, structure, and actually desire to create something that gives them a sense of stability. And a relationship can give you a sense of stability when you know what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. And sometimes that just happens by having discussions with your partner or with the women that are in your life right now, and being comfortable and open, stating what you are desiring, what your values are, and the standard of living that you have, not only for yourself, but for the woman you are discerning to be in your life. And you have the responsibility of yourself to discern a good woman who brings you that peace of mind, but also knowing that human beings aren't always peaceful. Sometimes you're going to experience conflict in a relationship. Sometimes there's going to be disagreements. But when you guys have a solid foundation of your values being either the same or at least similar, that's when you can start building the house that will house you both in safety. Safety within the polarities of energy that we fight against constantly, when they both deserve a seat at the table. A man has femininity and masculine energy. A woman has masculine and feminine energy. When these are not in balance, this is where it gets messy. And sometimes having a mess actually allows us to create even deeper structure and order in our life by cleaning it up and putting it back together in a way that makes sense for the individuals. Relationships are not one size fits all. It really does come by trying things out, seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. But peace of mind is something that a person has to want for themselves first and foremost, which is why I stated the video with, find you a person that respects peace and also understands that a piece of yourself has to be sacrificed in order for two people to understand selfless living. It's selfless of a woman to put her maybe desires aside or free time that she has and making time to cook a meal for a man, because she knows it not only brings that man peace and well-nourishment, but in the act of doing so, it's giving her the well-nourishment within her femininity and taking care of that. Is it cliched to put cooking and femininity together? Maybe. And maybe it doesn't look like cooking for a woman. Maybe it's cleaning. Maybe it's organizing your closet or your clothes, or ordering you something because she knows it will add benefit to your life. Anything to that degree is a woman taking care of a man. And when a man is taking care of a woman, it's in his nature to take her on as responsibility, provide for her, protect her, lead her. And that's very natural for a man to desire because it gives him that sense of purpose. And for a woman, it does look like taking care of the simple things, the food, the house, the organization, making his life easier in the sense where he doesn't have to go to war and then fight another war at home. That's the time where he gets to hang his armor up. And that comes with practice, like I said, and it comes with having the courage to have conversation with your partner about what your desires and needs are and working with them instead of against each other just to prove a point that you guys are not even wanting to experience. So that's my kind of tangent in today's video. I just want to give you guys some peace in today's video, letting you know that, the relationship that you fantasize about, where a woman's supportive, nourishing, nurturing, and loving towards you and supportive, that can happen and that is out there. However, you need to have enough wherewithal to discern the women you allow in your space, in your life, in your kingdom. And if there is no value being given, only expectations of the woman from you, there's always going to be a constant battle at home, in your personal life, in your internal space, where peace of mind cannot be found or even created, because perhaps a person is not ready to surrender a piece of themselves to find peace of mind. The piece of themselves that is fighting not only against you, but against what they are truly wanting and deserving. So I hope today's video helped you, brought you guys some peace maybe, and some wisdom to bring forward on your life, on your dates, on your relationships, etc. That no human being is perfect. We truly have to be willing to grow constantly in a relationship that will satisfy our own needs as well as our partner. So if you guys liked today's video, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.